I'm going to talk about some stuff that people aren't going to agree with. But here's the thing, man. We're going to go one or two ways. We're either going to go complete, we're going to go 100 years in the past or, 200 years in the past, or we're going to keep progressing technology-wise. But I think that, hopefully we don't collapse. Hopefully that's not what happens. I like slow reform of things. If you want to live in the past, then live in the past. I like technology, and I prefer to live where things are technical, where it's more advanced technology-wise goes. So if we continue the society, we don't go through a major collapse, a major failure, institute failure, banking failure, whatever. The next generation of workers, which people have to understand, is this whole notion of aggressive boss behavior. And I've talked some stuff about things in the past about bosses a lot, but telling them what to do, do as I say, not as I do type of attitude. No, I think the next generation, because they're soft. My generation's soft. But I'm kind of Gen X and millennial. I feel like I'm a hybrid of both. I'm a hybrid, but the Gen Z and then probably the next generation was an alpha. They're very soft. So you can't really be too direct and critical of them, because a lot of them have never had to deal with that before. So you kind of have to pamper to their feelings. And I think that it's not all, okay, this is just generally speaking. A lot have had complete isolation. They were raised on devices. Their parents probably spent very little time with them, if anything. They didn't teach them much in life at all, any morals or values or anything like that. And they were completely addicted to their phones and stuff like that. So the best way to deal with them, and I think in a business type of environment, is to be a really good example. And I mean, that's the best way I lead, is just by example. I'm not the type of leader that's that feels comfortable going and telling people what to do all the time. I mean, if I have that authority, which I never really have, I feel more comfortable going up and telling people, hey, we need to get this done, you should do this. But for example, having your employees, you're the boss, having your employees do a job, but then you go and do the job below them. You're in the trenches with them, and that'll give them more respect for you, instead of you just go wandering off back to your office and fucking off. That's why I think that's a good start for management to start out with, is doing jobs that are probably below them, but just for the people that work for them, or actually is the bosses are the ones that are supposed to be working for the people, providing us with the materials we need, or whatever direction we have to go. They're working for us so we can accomplish the goals for the company. But just taking the initiative to go do that job nobody wants to do. It's not like they gotta do it all the time, but it's just showing humbleness, and they'll relate better and they'll respect you more. This elitism is out the window soon, man. There's no way that this can sustain itself, where you got some people who make a little bit more money than other people, which maybe is like 10,000, maybe 20,000, maybe even 50,000, hell, even 100,000 more dollars, where they think that they're like billionaires or something. Like, yeah, you're in charge, and I respect your wisdom, and obviously you've paid your dues to get where you are. Should have been. I mean, that's what should have happened. Does it happen all the time? No. But that's what you have to that's what I go into think. I'm like, oh, this guy probably knows what he's talking about. He's probably spent years figuring things out. He knows what he's doing. Well, I mean, doing the humble work. My brother was badass, dude. I worked with my brother. It was so cool. This guy started out, and this is what humbled me big time. That job's humbled me big time. He worked his way out from where I started. I started after he did, like 7 years after he did. Man, we started the same position, and he worked his way out of that to become like a really good mechanic, a boat mechanic, and a manager of a small boat yard. And he would come down there, get his hands dirty with us, not just tell us what to do. He would come down there and like do stuff with us and help us out. Like, that's a true leader right there, to come down there with your people and humble yourself, to even like picking up a broom and sweep shit up. Like, to even do that. That's the leadership that people need to be in businesses. It doesn't matter if you're the CEO or a manager. You come on the floor, you see something that needs to be picked up, pick it up, dude. Help out a little bit. You know what I mean? And that's what makes your people respect you more. Because all we think about is, oh, you sit behind a desk all day. You're completely out of touch with anything. Get your hands dirty a little bit. Get your little white collar dirty a little bit. You can buy another one. But that respect that you earn with your employees is like priceless, dude. Another thing too is people are gonna have to get used to, if we continue the society, doesn't come and break down, which I don't think that we're gonna have a complete collapse. And there's a lot of fear mongering going on right now, but it could happen. Who the fuck knows, man? If it happens, it happens. Most of us won't survive. About 90% of us will not survive if we have a complete meltdown. Like depression, we'll end up dying. Like, we'll just end up eating each other and killing each other for resources. That's what will happen. But I just don't think that's gonna happen. I could be wrong. But I think that employers are gonna have to let up off of the cell phone usage and focus more on, as long as they're doing their work, I don't give a fuck if they're on their phone. As long as they're being safe, like, yeah, they got a couple of minutes, they're just ain't got shit to do. So what if they check their phone real quick? Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit if they're sitting down? You know, this whole thing of like, they have to work non-stop for the whole... That's why I don't like the whole hourly wage thing. I think that's so stupid. I'd rather get paid off of what the good quality production that I've done, or like how fast I do something safely. I would rather just make my pay today. Like, it'd be so cool, like, if we could just like go in today, instead of having to work for fucking 10 hours. Like, we bust our ass to get our work done, and we leave a couple hours early, but we still get paid the same. Well, the work is still done, you know, and it's not like we're behind or anything. Because what happens is, like, you bust your ass to get the work done, and then they just give you more work. So it's like, why would I want to keep working hard? So, like, I just think that bosses are just going to have to be more content when they walk past somebody. They're going to be looking on their phone. And it's like, it's almost like talking to somebody. Like, you see a couple people talking, like coworkers talking. Well, if they see you and you pass them, and like you come back 5 minutes later and they're still talking, then they're usually going to say something like, what's going on? Yeah, it's kind of like that, because a lot of people communicate with their phones, and things are changing and people have to adapt. This is why I say, like, people are going to have to control their egos. They're going to have to adapt, and things are changing radically quick, man. You don't even understand the deep fake stuff. The people that didn't put pictures of themselves or videos like me, putting up videos and pictures of themselves on the internet, they might be in a good spot, because like people are going to deep fake, and you're not going to be able to tell what's real. They can already deep fake. So someone might deep fake you for a crime. We're not going to be able to tell what's real anymore, man. The 2024 election is going to be wild. And of course, people are going to do adult content. Like, that's going to be crazy. Like, imagine somebody sending you something of a family member that you care about, and it's deep fake with adult content. It looks like them. Like, if we continue down this path, people, like, the psychology, like this whole thing with like social media and everything is happening so fastly. It's hard for people to adapt. Like, you gotta adapt quick. Like the progressiveness stuff, like they're progressing so quickly and expecting everybody to adapt. And like the average person, they don't relate. Even if they're a Democrat, they don't relate, and they don't approve. Like the regular Democrat, I'm not talking about no leaders. I'm just talking about a regular person that's like a Democrat. They really don't pay attention much. They might watch the legacy media news or whatever, but they don't see where things are going. They don't see how wild things are getting with the left. It's they think that like the Democrats are pretty much, I don't know, but I just think that a lot of them are misinformed, and they have a lot of trust in the mainstream media, because that's what they're. I mean, it's easy to, because like you think that these people, whether it's Fox News or CNN or CSN, NBC, I forgot, whatever. You think that they got college degrees. You think that they put smart, intelligent people on the shows, and they got high status, and you think like they're automatically better than you because they're on TV and you're not. You're just a regular person. So it's like, I think a lot of people just don't want to challenge the narrative that's being pushed. They might deep down, if they even think about it, might be like, that's kind of weird. But there's a lot of propaganda that's being put out there. Anyway, yeah, what I'm saying is, like, people are gonna have to adapt, man, and people are gonna have to adapt pretty quick, because things are changing rapidly, and how fast things have changed over the last 100 years. Seeing how fast things have changed in my lifetime, I just expect them to continue to keep changing even quicker. I don't know if this relates for anybody else, but time's going by really fast. And I know, like, when you get older, it goes by quick. But it just seems like, and a lot of people just, like, are saying that time just seems like it's going, like, really quick. And I just think it's because we don't have any time to be bored anymore. We don't have to be bored at all. one thing, you know what's really weird is, I want to say this before I end this video, is like, I don't know if anybody else can relate, and I know I sound weird. I know this is so weird, but I've had this like thing that's been happening with me where, so I'm kind of cheap, right? And that's what's kept me afloat, is being cheap and frugal, whatever. I'm thinking of like a movie I want to watch, and I go up on Tubi, it's free, and it's not on there. So I don't go and buy it usually. I usually don't go rent it or anything like that. Sometimes, but usually I don't. And then maybe like a week or two later, it's on there. And same goes for video games. Like, I'm like, oh man, I want to get this game like really bad, and I get this urge to get it. And then it's full price at the time. I'm like, nah. And I swear, like a week later, it's half off. Now, this doesn't just happen once. This has happened like, I don't know, like 10 times to me over the last year. And to me, and I know I sound crazy, and people probably already think I'm crazy, so it doesn't really matter. But that's what makes me feel like I'm in a simulation too. Like stuff like that. Like, it's just like, yeah, it's a coincidence, but coincidences only happen so often, and it makes me wonder like if there's some kind of, when I guess Facebook can tell when you go poop or whatever because of the algorithm. I'm just wondering if it's like something that I'm doing on my phone, and it could tell that I'm like wanting to buy something. Maybe I'm searching something, and then it just like makes it available because I resisted the urge to buy it, and then now it's free on Tubi. I was like wanting to watch Rocky again. I don't know, a couple months ago, and then now it's on Tubi. And I know it's kind of weird, but it's like, what? Like I'm special, so just gonna go on sale for everybody. It's just, I know it's not like that, and I know I'm not the main character, but it's just like really weird that happens. It's probably just a coincidence, but it's hard for me to explain it. Like AI is developed, or the algorithm's developed so much, or it's like it could tell that I want to buy something because I'm searching it, right? And then I don't buy it, and then like a week later I go look it up or something, or then it's on sale. I don't know. Maybe a bunch of people are doing the same thing. Like, oh, I wonder what this is. I wonder what this game is, and then they don't buy it, and then maybe it's just a collective thing. Who knows?